Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is hautemesstom, and welcome to Messmas. If you are new here, my channel is all about being critical, not only of new makeup releases, but also our own collections, because sometimes it's hard to admit that we've made a mistake and a bad purchase. I am currently in the middle of a 6-month no-buy. Well, I say amidst, I'm in the middle of it still, but like we're closer to the end than we've ever been. It's at the end of this month will be the end of my no-buy. And I'm doing a month-long project for December where I am trying to use every piece of makeup in my collection, put it on my face before the end of the year, before 2022. Today I'm going to be continuing that project, so if that sounds good to you, I would love to have you subscribe. And if you are feeling super generous, I also have a Patreon for you if you want to see more content from me. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I asked my friend Tiffany, and I was like, what palette should I use today? And she said Mothership 4. I know I've been using a lot of Pat Mcgrath, but I hadn't been using any, and I have a lot of them. We'll talk about this when we get to it. I also was going through my skincare backup stuff, and I found this, and this is the Makeup Glowy Serum base from Laneige, and I know nothing about this. But I saw that it could be I thought it could be used as a primer, so I brought it down here. We'll give that a try today. I really don't know about anything about this. I also had to swatch the Pat Mcgrath palette on my hand because it was like, I literally don't know anything about this palette. And I actually pulled something out of my purgatory box. I was thinking a lot about what bronzer to use today because I'm almost cycled through my bronzers a second time. And I pulled this out and I was like, you know what? I really want to use that again. I'm not going to use the whole palette. I'm just going to use the matte bronzer up there. We're not going to do the whole thing, but I want to test that bronzer just on its own. Give that a run. I don't know what I want to do with my eyes, so I haven't picked out anything else today, but we will be using the Milk Makeup foundation for the foundation. So we will see. We'll get into it. I cleaned off this vanity just a little bit before doing this filming, which feels really good. There's so much more space. I just had stuff everywhere. There's still stuff everywhere, but it's not as much stuff everywhere, which is better. It's just really chaotic filming every day. I just mess, and I don't put my filming equipment away, which I normally do whenever I'm not doing messmas. So I think that's kind of added to the chaotic emotional mood I've had recently. So that's where we're at. Okay. I think I'm gonna prep my eyes with the MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. I think from shaving, I shave my eyebrows every day, but I don't shave my face every day. I don't clean up my facial hair every day. So I'm needing some coverage. They need some love. I actually think with this palette, I may only use 2 shades. I'm thinking of keeping it simple because there's something about this particular Pat Mcgrath palette and that speaks similarly to me as the Chantecaille quad I have. It's all shimmers or glimmers and metallics and things like that in it, which is interesting. It's interesting. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but it's something. It's a decided choice. We're setting with the Mercier translucent setting powder for the lids. So what I really think I'm gonna do is I'm going to use this dark burgundy on the outer portion of my lid, and then this whatever this shade is all over the lid. We're doing 2 colors. We're gonna keep it easy. I'm gonna keep it breezy. Not really because I don't feel like doing anything more artistic. It's when I look at this palette, that's what it tells me to do. I'm making it sound like I'm really artistic, and I'm the way this sings to me is a very specific way, and that specific way is that we're just using 2 shades. Okay, I mean, this is a really interesting shade. And then I'm going to take, like as promised, this shade and just put it all over the lid. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this like pale gold and use that on my inner corner. That's too much. Okay. I'm gonna apply more of this shade with my finger. That is so much better. I'm moving on from this eye look because it's on my eyes and it's on my eyes. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's on my eyes. Let's come back to this. So this isn't my final thoughts, but so this is like a real big outlier in the Mothership collection. These are all shimmers or satins. None of them are mattes, but none of them are the baked special shades either. So like there's not like the traditional like 4 shades on the one side. And another thing is that this palette is the only Pat Mcgrath Mothership palette that I have ever bought that smells. It smells like a Tarte eyeshadow. It smells like cocoa-y, and you can like, it's like when you open the palette, you can smell it immediately. I didn't like the one on my lid until I put it on with my finger, and now I think it looks really good. I think it looks like it's a very cool eyeshadow. That's like a TBD. Thoughts on that. Okay, now let's play with this. This is the, like I said, this is the Glowy makeup serum from Laneige. There's really no smell. Hopefully you can see that. There's like little bubbles in there, and I think they're like in the serum. Yeah, they're not like bubbles. There's something in the serum. I'm gonna just put some on, I guess. Okay. So to me, it's a little bit thicker than a serum. As you can see, it's like not really moving too fast from where it started. Okay, so I don't know how much it's done for the appearance of my skin, but it like melted into the skin really beautifully. And my skin feels like nice, like plump. Like I'm a little bit shocked that this serum made it feel the way it does. And I do feel like my skin looks better after having put that on. But there's no like shimmer to it. It's just doing, I don't know what it's doing, but it feels really nice. It had no smell, like no, not even like a chemical smell. It just has no smell. Okay, I'm kind of into that. I'm glad that worked that way because my skin has been not my fave. For the foundation today, I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup Flex Foundation Stick. So it has a smell, but it's, I don't know. It doesn't smell bad. It smells like almost like fresh. It's interesting. But it definitely, it's always had a smell. I remember it like kind of having a smell. So I used this not that long ago with the Hydro Grip primer in a video. I honestly am like not that impressed with it. Was not impressed with it that time. At one point, this foundation made my skin look really good. I felt like it made my skin look really good, but I'm not feeling the love. I'm not feeling the love as I once did with this product. But we're gonna just buff it in. It's already looking much better over this primer. So I think we're gonna do something we haven't done before. Well, maybe not. I had a thought, but let me finish. But I'm having a thought about maybe, even though we're not using it on this video, just decluttering the Hydro Grip primer, because if this foundation's gonna look better over this primer, well then it was clearly the primer and not the foundation. Although I do prefer my foundations to like not be so finicky either, like where they'll work over most things. I don't know. I'm wondering if it's the color of the foundation too that leaves me unsettled, because I am this pale, but I feel like when I put this foundation, and I understand, like, it makes my skin look lifeless. Not like, because obviously I've lost contours and definitions of my face because I'm evening it out with the foundation, but it makes my skin look dead. I don't know if you're catching on camera. I would love to hear in the comments below if you see what I'm talking about. Like, I put other foundations on that are this light, and I just don't think my skin, like, does this. Like, I don't think this is not what happens when I put those foundations on. I will say, I think I really like this primer. This looks much better than, this like looks significantly better than it did the last time. It is definitely medium coverage. It's like, or like light. It's like, I don't know, not, well, I would say medium. I would say medium coverage, because you can still see a lot of imperfections and like redness under this. For some reason, me and this foundation aren't getting along. Like, or there's something off about a relationship. Also, clock this earring. It's a guillotine from my friend my friend Carly's Scorpaganda store. I'll have that link down below if you're interested. But she posted these on her Instagram, and I was like, it was like the story was 2 minutes old, and I like just sent her a Venmo, and I was like, send me those guillotine earrings because I need them now. But we're already cycling through concealers again. This is the Nars Creamy Radiant Concealer. I liked it last time I used it, so maybe I'll like it again, although it does appear to be a lot darker. The last time I used the Nars in this project, I kind of liked it like more than I just liked it. But I do still think that like fingers are the way to go to blend it out. But it was a little too dark for this, so I think I need to continue to try it with other foundations. I think I'm already feeling some kind of way about the milk foundation. It's like leaving me just like, I hate all of this, but it's not really the move. That's not really the move. Blur, 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 blur. Okay, I'm gonna set the under eyes with the Chantecaille blurring powder, and then I will set the rest of my face with the Laura Mercier setting powder, and then I will do a little more blurring powder. So we have powdered. I'm gonna contour real quick with my Rhode Dial powder. Can almost taste it, release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. Now I'm gonna go into the Natasha Denona Tan palette, which I'm just using the matte bronzer up here. If you wanna see more like thoughts and feelings on it, I'll link the description. In the description, I will link a video where I used the tan palette. It was kind of the video, it was kind of the idea that sparked all the rest of Messmas, because I was like trying to get a better handle on my collection. Like, it's like, these are things that I don't have a relationship with in my collection, and I have them, so I should have a relationship with them. And thus, here we are. So what I just proved to myself was that if I go in with a light enough hand, this bronzer can be a bronzer I use regularly. And then whenever I really want to punch it up, I have all of those other options. But this will help me pull it out more, because I just didn't before. But happy to know Natasha to know that. Some of my best work, and I heard you all sigh. I heard it. I heard the sigh. I heard it through the internet before you even made it. I heard it. I hadn't picked out a blush or a highlight yet because I didn't know how warm or cool the eye look may end up being. I have made some decisions. For blush day, we're going to be using Euphoric Fusion from Hourglass. I have already used Electric Incandescent Electra earlier in this project, but this one shows up a little bit more, so hopefully you'll be able to see the beauty. So I've talked a lot on my channel about I like Hourglass products because they have a beautiful sheen to them and it's really hard to overdo it. Like I just like went in there and I have like this beautiful flush, beautiful healthy glow. This is what I think Hourglass products are all about. This is what it's all about for me. As someone who can often go overboard on blush even when I don't mean to, having Hourglass be there for me. Now this is definitely not like the kind of blushes that you can really use for like an intense look, like, you know, if you really want to like take it to the next level with a look, but like whatever the marble is, it's so smart. It's so smart because whatever that marbling in, that sheen, that's probably what's giving you the sheen. But it also helps diffuse the actual pigment in the color. And I just think this is like a beautiful blush color. Like, it's just so pretty. It's so pretty. This is a discontinued item, but this is the Tarte Skin Twinkle Volume 2. And I've sung this to the high praises. I love this little palette. I know they don't make this anymore. I've checked the website. It's no longer available, even on their website. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap into both of these shades, the Skylight and Daylight, and put that on the cheeks. It's gonna be a highlight. It's gonna be a highlight. So we're gonna tap into each of those. And so this palette, actually, speaking of the Pat Mcgrath palette smelling, this smells exactly like the Pat Mcgrath palette. Beautiful, beautiful. And actually, I'm proud to say this. This is the last like face palette in my collection. I mean, it's only highlights, but these two would be the last. So I've officially used all of my face palettes in this project, which is exciting because if you are new here, I have often talked about how I forego my face palettes. And you know what's funny is that I don't think I've decluttered any of them because they're all good. They all are very good. And the reason I don't use them all the time is because they weren't in the same drawer, but now they are. They all live in the same drawer now. My single compact of blushes and all my face products, and now my face palettes all live in the same drawer, which is just like chef's kiss. I do think I will continue to forego face palettes for the future of just shopping whenever I'm shopping for makeup, but very beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna spray with Fix Plus, and then we will come back for more look. For mascara, I'm gonna just use my Fetish Eyes. It's what I have. I think I'm gonna actually grab that e.l.f. mascara that Hannah Louise Poston has been talking about recently in her videos that she's been really enjoying. Keep your eyes peeled. Once this one kicks the bucket or I decide that it's too old, that could be the next mascara I try. But I might also just buy mascara that I like the most too, just to have it, just in case. For lips today, we're gonna use the Opulust lip gloss from Pat Mcgrath in the shade Dreamscape. And these are like the more pigmented glosses. And is this the last gloss? I might be out of glosses. No, I have one more. I have one more gloss. I have one more. But boy howdy, do I really like glosses more than lipsticks because I've pulled out so many more of these. So these don't smell like Pat Mcgrath's other glosses. They have like almost a plasticky smell to them. And I remember clocking that when I first bought it. Okay, that wraps up the look for today. I'm gonna zoom you in so you can see the skin. Okay, well, first let's start with the eye. It's a beautiful eye. It's a beautiful eye. The thing is, well, we'll talk more to that whenever we look at the eyeshadow palette when we reflect. Here's the cheek. Okay, I think I look actually very stunning today. I think I look very good. I love the highlight. Okay, let's reflect on everything we used today. That's what we do here. That's what we do on this project. So Mothership 4 from Pat Mcgrath. Here's the thing. I don't know that this inspires me. And what I was going to say whenever I was zoomed in on my face is that Chantecaille quad I have, I guess I can pull something out of the box to like demo something or just show you something. So I have this quad from Chantecaille, and these are all shimmers, and they have, I would say, like fairly light pigmentation, but they're very easy to blend, and they give a very beautiful soft effect to the eyes. Whereas this palette, these look really intense, and when you swatch them with your finger, you definitely get some payoff. But then I was putting them on my eye with a brush, and like I think if you watched my channel enough, you've seen me, like I apply eyeshadows with my fingers all the time. I'll try different brushes. That's like what I'm gonna do. Like I'm okay doing that. But there's like something very elegant about this, something light, airy, and elegant. It's like in the packaging, in the way it's presented. That's what this is selling me. It's like, you're not gonna get the most highly impacted, crazy look with this. But this Mothership 4 kind of looks like it's about to promise that to you. It's promising you this like intense, crazy look. However, I think I need to change my mindset on it, because this is a very soft, like it's impactful. It's like a little bit dark because I use a dark burgundy, but I could see someone using this palette just for these two shades all over the lid. Like those are the kinds of shades that people really like to just put all over the lid. So those are very simple shades, but then the rest of them, it's I don't know. I'm missing something. This doesn't spark artistry or anything for me because of I don't know. There's just something about this that I don't really care for. I'm not gonna declutter this yet, but I don't think it's long for my collection, because I do think I want to do a full review on it and give it more time than just this one application, because I think this is the first time I've ever used this. I put the Pat Mcgrath ones over here. They don't go in the box. I put them in a different place, but I do remove them from my vanity. This Glow Serum primer, I'm excited to try it with some other foundations to see what it does, but I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I think it made my skin feel very nice, and I know that's something that you can't experience through the camera, but it made my skin feel very plump and really readied it for my foundation. And I was using a foundation today that I don't typically like, and I felt like it made that look better. So this was a true win. I'm glad I found it in my skincare, and I was like, oh, it says it's a primer, so happy to have brought it into today, and can't wait to use it again after I can go through all my primers again. The foundation stick from Milk. I think I figured out what is my problem with it, is that it has medium coverage, and that's it. It doesn't add anything to my skin. So if I put on something that has a radiant finish, it gives me something. It gives me glow. If I put on something that has a matte finish, it mattifies my skin. It's doing something. This was just like, it's like kind of like a mask, right? I put it on, and I think today it looks really successful, but I still don't think it looks the best of all the foundations. Like, I think in camera it looks really good. Actually, in person it looks really good. But the foundation before I give it life with anything else is just 100% lifeless. And I kind of hate that. And I think that's what it is that it's just like the coverage on, like something about the way it's finished, the finish on my skin when it's just by itself. And I know that's such a weird picky thing, because I'm gonna put stuff on top of it. And I did, and it looks great, but is it worth it to keep around? And I just don't think it is. And so I think I'm gonna depart with this. I just don't think I like it enough. And as I'm gonna cycle through my foundations again soon, there's no point in me having this around. So it's gonna get decluttered today. I feel like that's like a weird choice for me to make, because it's definitely not the worst, but I do want a collection that I love moving forward. And even with the other foundations I have in my drawer, I liked all of them more, and I'm more willing to finish them up than I think I am this Milk one. The Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, this was fine. It was fine today. It's darker. It was darker than the foundation. It blended out okay and kind of matched the foundation, but I think I just like maybe don't have the right color in this, but blends into the skin really nice with my finger. And like looking at where I used it, the skin looks really nice. So I don't think there's enough of a reason to call it yet on this one, but maybe the third time, if it comes through a third time and I'm still feeling kind of meh on it, it might leave my collection. But I want to try it with some other foundations, because today's foundation was really just kind of like left me, just like not my fave. Okay, the tan palette. We just used the matte bronzer today, and I think that was extremely successful. It looks really good. I was able to use it in such a way that it was very usable for my skin without all of the rest of it. And it looks really good. And I very much liked it. And I'm excited that I did that. I'm excited that I pulled it out of my purgatory box and threw it in here. And I'm excited to use it again. So that feels really good. That feels really good. Feels like a success. Euphoric Fusion Blush from Hourglass. Gorgeous. Stunning. Really gives life to the cheek. Looks really good. It's interesting with these, like on the side angle, you really can't see it, but from front, you can definitely see that I have some rosiness. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like why I love Hourglass blushes is like just like this. Just like it's so good. The Tarte Twinkle palette. This is, you know, I don't know. Is this the only thing I own? This might be the only thing I own. Oh, I own the chrome paint. But this is like one of the few things I own from Tarte. This is so pretty. Like I have a great dip in both of those highlights, and mixing them today was really the move. Now you can go really blinding with them, but I was able to, I like didn't go too hard on it, and it's a very nice glow. But typically when I use them, it's like, to quote Teresa is dead, it's like alien slut highlight. The only thing that's gonna be unfortunate is that the two deeper shades are definitely gonna go to the wayside because they're just too deep for me. And this is like where the problem with face palettes comes in, is like whenever it's too deep, it's not gonna get used. But I'll have to check Tarte's website, because I'm not gonna like run out and buy them, obviously, because I still have them. But if they put these in single highlighters, then maybe, because I like them both, and I like kind of tapping into both of them. So maybe if I ever finish this, but very likely I won't. That leaves us with one final thing. Dreamscape from Pat Mcgrath. I actually think this looks really good. And for whatever reason, in my brain, this was much more pigmented. At some point I remember this being much more pigmented than it was, but it mostly just kind of has glitter suspended in it, and it's multi-dimensional and just stunning. It is stunning. I think it looks really good on camera. It looks really good in real life. I have another one of these that's in the purgatory box, and I don't like that one as much as this one. This one's pretty, and I'm actually glad I got to use it today, because in my head I always think it's something different than it is, but it's definitely very wearable. Okay, that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed today's video, I would really love it and appreciate if you would like it, and then also subscribe to my channel. More of this in the way of December. We're almost halfway through. This is going to be live on the 14th. So almost halfway through the month, which is super exciting for me personally, but also a little nerve-wracking considering there's still a lot going on in these drawers. So scary, but we're getting through it. We're almost through the face drawer. And we're gonna have to have a conversation about foundations tomorrow, because the only foundation I have left is purple. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that for this project. But I think I'm gonna pull my foundations out and cycle through them again. Anyway, I just don't think I'm in the mood to wear a purple foundation for this project, and I think it's okay for me to make that choice because I've made it through all of my normal foundations, and I did use my white foundation on my Patreon. So I did all that. Okay, anyway. That's very exciting. It's exciting to, it's been such a delight. I swear to you, it's been such a delight to be able to use all my product. And I understand that like some of you might not have makeup collections as large as mine, so you're probably like, why are they having to do this? But that's the point, is like, I wish I wasn't in the situation where I had so much makeup where it was like, if I use it every day in December, then I'll be able to cycle through it at least once. And I'm not gonna be able to. That's the tea. That's the gag, is that sometimes I'm gonna have to double up on palettes some days. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you so much. And remember to follow your haute, and you will find me. And you'll find me. It's me. Thank you so much again for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.